So here we are going to talk about application of Varignon's theorem when the force system, the given force system is general. Okay, when we say the force system is general, we mean to say that the number of forces that will be involved will not be just parallel. The forces may be inclined, that is some inclination will be provided, and for calculation of resultant we will have to go through summation fx, then summation fy, then r by using the formula square root of total of summation fx and fy square, and then we will have to determine the value of theta, then the position, that is quadrant. In parallel force system we already had summation fx equal to 0. That's why whatever the sign that fy beared was the direction of the resultant, and we need not calculate the value of theta in quadrant. But here when we say the force system is general, we need to calculate summation fx, fy, r and the associated properties of resultant, which is its inclination with respect to x-axis and the quadrantal position. Okay, for example, let's say this is the given force system and we need to determine the position of resultant with respect to the reference point A. Let's say the forces are F1, F2 and F3 and the inclinations be theta, let's say 2, and for F3 the inclination be theta 3. So the first step is same as it was in the case of parallel force system, that we have to find out Fx here. Okay, in parallel force system Fx was 0 because the forces were purely vertical, there was no horizontal or inclined force. But here since F2 and F3 are here, first we will have to break them down into their perpendicular mutual components, then we will be able to split and properly note them down under Fx or Fy. Okay, therefore we will be calculating value of Fx, then we will calculate value of summation Fy, and after summation Fx and Fy we will be calculating the value of resultant by using the formula summation Fx square here and summation Fy square, like this. Okay, now after magnitude of the resultant is determined, we will be calculating value of theta. And how do we calculate the inclination of resultant with respect to x-axis? The formula is theta is equal to tan inverse of, remember, summation Fy divided by summation Fx. No need to worry about the sign, just put the values, that is magnitudes, the scalar quantities of Fy and Fx, and get the value of theta in, let's say, some degrees, xyz, whatever the numerical value be there. Then the quadrantal position of the resultant will be given out by the signs that summation Fx and summation Fy are bearing. Okay, the signs may be plus, minus, minus, plus, whatever be the sign, they will be indicating some quadrantal position. Okay, thereby we can calculate whether the we can say determine whether the quadrant is first or second or third or fourth. Okay, up to step number 1 the problem is of determination of resultant only along with its associated properties, that is inclination and quadrantal position. Now step number 2 is again determination of total moment generated by this number of forces. Here the reference point is A and the forces that will be generating or contributing to generation of moment are F1 is here. Okay, F1 into its perpendicular distance, then plus minus, okay, F2 sine theta 2, F2 sine theta 2 into the perpendicular distance, then plus minus, obviously it is going to be the plus sign because F3's vertical component will be generating a clockwise, that is positive moment here. Okay, plus F3 sine theta 3 into the respective perpendicular distance. Okay, when we will be discussing an actual numerical, then this specific concept will again be clarified, right? Then step number 3. The step number 3 is the actual application of Varignon theorem. What is that Varignon theorem we are talking about? See, summation of moment of forces with respect to the given specified point is equal to moment, no, not summation, just the moment generated by resultant force with respect to the same point. And here we can add a step like this, r into x. Here moment is product of a force and the perpendicular distance, x be the perpendicular distance, here r is the resultant that we have already calculated, and also the value of total moment is known. Thereby carrying out this equation in order to determine the value of x, solving this equation for x, it gives us the answer like this, okay, divided by r. Some numerical value will be coming out and it is distance, that's why it will be centimeter or meter as provided in the problem. Okay, now the final step is to show how we got this resultant in its very position, in its specific position. Okay, so here when we are talking about general force system, then the quadrants are 4. That's why when even beam AB is given, we have to first draw the quadrant system with respect to point A. And for example, let's say the resultant came out as in first quadrant. Let's say summation fx was positive, summation fy was positive, and that's why resultant is in first quadrant. And theta indicates the inclination that it is going to make with x-axis. Now first of all, let's try to put this resultant in the first quadrant. Okay, and second thing we require is that, see, when we say the resultant is in first quadrant, inclined to x-axis something like this. Okay, this is the line of action of the force and the inclination will be shown, let's say theta. And there is also other case where the resultant is still in the first quadrant. Okay, you can see the resultant is still in the first quadrant, but the position is different here. Okay, again inclination will be the same. Now in first quadrant there are two possibilities for the resultant to stay in. Okay, now the important thing, see, this is the exact distance, perpendicular distance x we are talking about. Okay, now let's try to match all the things that we have been provided. See, the reference point is A, the resultant is R, there is value of moment. Okay, there is some value of moment that will be available after we calculate this statement. Okay, the moment may be positive or negative value. Therefore, when we say the moment is having positive value, that's it means that the moment is what? Clockwise. Okay, and when the value of sum total of value is negative, the moment is anti-clockwise. Here, if we try to place the resultant in first quadrant in this manner, okay, in this manner, then the rotation that this resultant force will be causing for the system is clockwise. Okay, therefore this is the exact correct position of the resultant in first quadrant. Now see, this is the second option that we can have, but when we are putting the resultant in first quadrant but on the downside of the point A, then we can see that this resultant, even though it is in first quadrant, is making the system to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, therefore when moment comes out to be positive and resultant is in first quadrant, we will be putting the resultant in first quadrant like this. Okay, this is the way. And even when resultant is in first quadrant but the moment is anti-clockwise because the value of moment came out to be negative, the way with which resultant should be put in the first quadrant is like this. Okay, because it will be making the system to move in anti-clockwise direction. This is how having value of resultant, then the quadrantal position of resultant, inclination theta, and notation for summation of moment with respect to the specified point, let's say O, are the required terms in order to draw the final diagram. Okay, see, there are 4 quadrants, means there are 4 possibilities of existence of the resultant in this quadrant, and there are 2 ways with which the system will be in rotation because of the moment generation by the resultant. That is 4 cases of resultant's position and 2 ways in which system can rotate. Therefore, there are 4 into 2, total 8 possibilities of having different diagram. Now let's try to focus on those possibilities. Okay, see, here you can see fx, summation fy, and summation of moment, and here we are talking about the sign convention. That is, let's try to understand what format we will be discussing this several cases in. See, summation fx plus summation fy plus, it means that the resultant is in first quadrant, and summation m suffix o is plus, it means that the moment is clockwise. Therefore, we have to exactly locate our resultant in its very position with respect to the given quadrantal system. Then in second diagram you can see resultant still in first quadrant, but the moment is anti-clockwise, and so on. We have in total 8 cases. Okay, 4 combinations of resultant's position and 2 combinations of moment's rotation, that is clockwise, anti-clockwise. Therefore, total 8 cases we have to focus here. Now let's try to put the resultant in the diagram. So let's try to put the resultant for the first case. See, this is the way with which resultant should be put. Alright, that is, this is r, then this is the perpendicular distance x, and wherever this resultant cuts the x-axis should be noted as theta. Now let's try to combine all these things, that is notation of fx and fy and direction of moment. See, resultant r, is it in first quadrant? Yes. Now let's check if it makes the system to rotate in clockwise direction or not. See, if we are putting our resultant in first quadrant and if we are extending its line of action like this, then you can clearly see with respect to the origin O, the R resultant will be making the system to go in clockwise direction. Okay. Now similarly we will be carrying out the same process for resultant position in first quadrant, but system rotating in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, let's take force, then let's try to put the resultant in first quadrant. Okay, see, this is again the resultant in first quadrant, but what you can see here is position of resultant still being in first quadrant is making the system to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. How? See, this is R. Now even though it is in first quadrant, but when the position is shifted below O, then we can clearly see that this resultant will be making the system to go or rotate in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, let's try to do the same when quadrant is second. Okay, the quadrant is second and rotation is clockwise. Okay, this is the way the resultant should be kept when it is in second quadrant and it is supposed to cause clockwise rotation. Okay, similarly let's try to do the same for anti-clockwise motion, anti-clockwise rotation when the resultant is in second quadrant. Okay, you can clearly see the thing that you need to observe is the arrowhead should be shown in the desired quadrant, but the position should be shifted with respect to the rotation required. Okay, and hence we can do the same for third and fourth quadrant along with the 2 possibilities, clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation. Now check this. The quadrant position here is, we can see fx and fy both being negative. The quadrantal position is third quadrant, and here the resultant has been placed like this. When it is placed below this point and in third quadrant, the system will be rotating in clockwise manner, and when it is placed above the origin, then it will be making the system to rotate in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, similarly for quadrant number 4, two possibilities of moment, that is clockwise moment and anti-clockwise moment. First, place the resultant in its very quadrant, then decide whether to put it in upward manner or downward manner so that the proper direction of movement is maintained. See here, it will be going in clockwise manner when it is in fourth quadrant, and when we are putting the resultant below this origin O and again in fourth quadrant, it will be making the system to go in anti-clockwise manner.